What up, everybody? Welcome in to Profit Picks. It's been so long since I've done this show. I don't even remember how I used to start it. But we got my guy Rob Veno in the building. Asked on Twitter if anybody missed this show, and seemed like a lot of people did. So I miss doing the show with you, Veno, myself. I always say, you're one of the most knowledgeable sports bettors in the space, or that I know. So appreciate you coming through, Veno. How you doing today?
I'm good, buddy. It has been a long time for us, and glad to be back. We're going to try and get through 3 straight days for you guys out there. We'll give you 3 morning shows here as the NBA playoffs start to kick in. 2 games today we'll get to discuss. The run has been good, so hopefully we can provide ticket cashing stuff here. But we'll go through them, Skee. Like you said about me, I always appreciate going through these games with you. Learn something new every day, so it's a good thing.
Is that Gators orange right there, Vino?
No, it's I'm trying to think of a team with a little bit lighter orange.
It was Nick's orange, wasn't it?
The other one is definitely Nick's orange. It's darker. This one is like a light orange, and I don't think the Gators have. It could be close. I tell you what, I might have to give them that now that I'm thinking it through. It is closer to Gators orange than Nick's orange. If we were going to split them that way, Skee, I would say the other shirt is definitely Nick's orange. It's darker. This one could be considered Gators orange.
Man, yeah, Jeff, he won some money on that championship game, so he's happy to see you come through with those colors on for sure. Um, NBA yesterday. I mean, I always start by saying how we did yesterday. 1-0 in the association. Tennis yesterday was also really good. 4-1 there with some plus money, so it was a good day yesterday. Vino, did you play anything yesterday?
I was involved in both of the NBA games. I should have just stuck with early thoughts rather than adding on later thoughts. But the early thought was the Memphis Grizzlies over the team total 110.5 did get there. Thought the matchup just was going to be a high scoring game. Turned out to be. But in the second game, I talked myself into the Hawks can't be held to less than 106. Well, they can be held to less than 106, as I found out. So it was a 1-1 split yesterday. The overall picture, we'll go through it later, but it's been a really, really good run NBA-wise for me. It's good dating all the way back to December.
Shout out to the chat as well. A lot of people coming through. Appreciate all you guys. B-Man says, cancel the work call for this show. Well, let's get it. Let's see if we can make some money and get paid. Appreciate you guys. First game up, Heat and Bulls. This one opened up Bulls -1. Oh, it has moved a little bit since I last looked. This now going up to 2 now. Total went from 224.5. I feel like it went lower than this, and now it's climbing back up. But right now we see 220.5. Kind of 220.5, 220. I guess that's the consensus. Injury report: Kevin Love game time, Larson game time, Jovic game time for Chicago. Giddy, Terry, both probable. No Lonzo, no Trey Jones. Vino, these teams played a meaningful game towards the end of the season, and Chicago handled business. And that's why Chicago is playing at home right now. Chicago has actually beat them the last 3 times that they've played. So I guess every time that they played this season. So it's surprising to me when I look at it like that. I'm not that big of a believer in Chicago, but do you think they just have the Heat's number here?
They could, Skee, but I would side with you a little bit when I looked at the matchup and put it into a, sort of an elimination style game. I don't know. I got a lot to say on this. So, guys, bear with me because the more time you have to handicap these games, the more you look, the more you search, you try to be thorough. Some people don't like to hear me talk that much, but I call it being thorough. Let's just start with this front line for Miami, Skee, I think is pretty good. Wiggins, Adebayo, Ware across the front matches up well with Chicago. But when I dug a little bit, I found out that Miami as a team shot the ball 49% from the field, which is high for them. They're not generally a great shooting team. 49% from the floor compared to 45-6 without them on the floor together. And the threes almost were 41% compared to 37. So these three guys playing together is helpful to Miami offense. It shows why towards the end of the season, Miami point totals got higher. Their results got higher, I should say. The odds maker didn't generally jack it up because I was making money playing Miami totals over. Here's my only concern with the Heat in this game. I don't want the close game late, Skee, because they just don't have enough options. It's hero or bust, basically, when it comes to a close game late. You look at their lineup, they have no shot creators. And I found this article inside the Miami Herald, which was kind of highlighting that. And here's what they had. During the final 5 minutes of games, where the margin was 5 points or fewer, which the NBA defines as clutch time, the Heat was outscored by 61 points in games like that. The only teams that were worse than them are Toronto and Utah. In other words, all they can find is a Tyler Hero jump shot. When it's close, they shot 39.9% from the field in the clutch, 25.6 on threes in the clutch. The only team worse than that was Orlando. And the Heat wound up 14 and 28 straight up in those games. Not good when the number's only 2, 1.5 or 2. And then to cap it off, they finished last in free throw attempts at clutch time. They just can't penetrate and get to the lane. So not making jump shots, not getting to the line, not going to win games. Highest culprit, the worst three-point shooter in clutch time this year, Tyler Hero. 12 of 63, 19%. Duncan Robinson, 3 of 15. Bam Adebayo, 3 of 12.
Wait. Hero, what was that number?
9? Hero in clutch time, last 5 minutes of a game within 5 points. Okay, specifically, they were in those. They're 14 and 28 in those games. Hero shooting threes during that final 5 minutes of a close game. They're 12 of 63, 19%.
Damn,
right?
That's
and
terrible.
He's their best. So he's making shots during the game, but when it comes down to, if we're looking at a 2-pointer late, Chicago.
That's when they missed Jimmy Butler. Clutch time, it seemed like.
And that was the point, because with Jimmy Butler, their free throw attempts late in games were middle of the pack. Now they're the worst in the league. And the other guy they missed, believe it or not, Max Strus. In situations like that this year, 5 minutes left in the game, 5-point difference, Max Strus leads the league. He's the best clutch shooter, 50% from 3, 10 of 20. So those two things are missing. Other than that, I like Miami, Skee. I think there's a lot of reasons to like them. I would start with, I think Spoelstra over Donovan is a good matchup at playoff time, I would think, or play-in time. The front court matches up well. I'll give you 2 things that I think are important here that Miami could have covered. Last week, and you talked about that meaningful game, and it was meaningful for play-in seeding. Kevin Huerter, the starting small forward for the Bulls, had 22 points, 9 of 16. In this type of setting, I think Andrew Wiggins will be his defensive assignment. Wiggins, we know, is a good defender. I don't think Huerter goes off for 22 tonight. And the other thing you got to look deep into or watch the game again, Spoelstra wasted no time bringing Davion Mitchell off the bench to guard Kobe White because Alec Burks can't do it. Mitchell played 35-plus minutes. Kobe White didn't make a 3, only had 18 points, and 8 of those were free throws. So he only scored 10 points. If you could but if you could slow down Huerter with Wiggins, if you could slow down Kobe White with Donovan Mitchell, Davion Mitchell, then what's left is Josh Giddey, who has absolutely shredded this team, but he comes in injured. Giddey averaged a triple-double against this team because Hero can't guard him. But one threat as opposed to all 3 threats, I don't know, Skee. In football, we would say this. We would say, man, it's tough to beat a team 3 times. Is it tough to beat a team 4 times? I think it might be. And I'll just close with this. If Miami could slow the tempo just a shade throughout portions of the 48 minutes, probably becomes a lower scoring game, might not get over the number, and they probably have a better chance of winning this game because it would likely become a jump shooting contest at that point. So I lean Miami. I lean under. It's hard for me to say the word under a lot of times, but a lot of indicators point that way here. So I got to be honest with the audience. I haven't played it yet. I'm trying to talk myself into which one I like better, Miami or under.
I'm looking into this right here. I mean, I don't see anything detailed. It just says he's been cleared to play. So, um, who knows how healthy he is, but he is going to be out there. So,
Just for
um,
Casey, real quick, he played two of the last three games, around 25 minutes each, and they sat him Sunday precautionary to give him extra rest till Wednesday. So he hasn't played since last Friday, but he'll go here. So it figure maybe 28, 30 minutes out of Wiggins.
ZB Miami says so. Kobe White's points under as what he's getting from that breakdown.
Mm.
I'll tell you this, Rob. I agree that Miami has a couple defenders that I can trust, but they had these same guys when they played last. Like, what's the difference in the last three times they played? It's just, I mean, they didn't have Wiggins all three times, but still, it's just why have the Heat been able to beat them? Is what I can't get over. I mean, why have the Bulls been able to beat the Heat? Is what I can't get over because I agree with everything you're saying. I really want to get there with the Heat, but something's not letting my finger push confirm in this game. I would ask you. I mean, somebody in the chat said Heat first half. I don't have any reason to talk you guys off of that. I see them 8-2 ATS their last 10 first halves. 7-2-1 for the full game. So they've been just good in general. But Rob, they have been scoring lately. They're also 8-2
Mm.
to the team total over. And you used to, I mean, you said you like this one to be lower scoring, but I mean, you used to be one who would go to that Heat team total um, when you get a low number. Seeing this one dip down, like I don't think of the Bulls as a defensive team. It just is what it is. Even if some patches they might play defense good, I just don't think of them that way. And the Bulls want to play fast. So I guess they'll go. I lean Heat and I lean over. That means I like Heat team total over.
That particular bet, Ski, has been a moneymaker for me down the stretch because I've said it for the last 5 years, right? You've done a lot of shows with me. The odds maker never really adjusts Miami upwards where totals are concerned. Never. They're always the same. I remember a few years back, I used to say Miami 106. It was like a broken record. And here it's 109.5. And I could, again, if they win the game, they're probably going to have to score more than that. The point with the total was I don't know that they can play Chicago's game, which it seems like they've done the first three times and beat them. So I think the point I was trying to make is if they can slow it down in sections, then maybe
Okay.
they can keep it under and win. But that's harder than, it's easy for me to say, harder for them to do because I haven't done it yet. I'm going to give you one last thing that I found here.
Hmm.
The Bulls as a home favorite this year, their straight up record as a home favorite was the second worst in the NBA. The only team with a worse straight up record as a home favorite was the Sixers. Crazy, but the Bulls only won 53% of the games when they were favored at home. Now, they're not much of a favorite here. They don't have to win by much, have to win by a bucket. But still, that's a little disturbing that the Bulls can't even win straight up at home when they're a home favorite. But of course, the counter to that is, yeah, but they do beat Miami. So you're in kind of that quandary here, Ski, which is probably why I haven't bet the game yet either.
Well, the game is absolutely Heat or nothing. There's no way I consider even betting the Bulls, and it's over or nothing. So it just is what it is. Shout out to C-Mac. I did get to link up with him yesterday. Good watching the game with you. Man, I had to sweat that under out, man. Had to go. Had to go sweat it out. But good seeing you. I think we can move it along, Veno, to the next
Yep.
game. Mavs and Kings opened up Kings -5. Hasn't really moved. Total went from 223 down as low as two. I mean, at DK is 213. So about a 10-point move. And I remember when it came out, it immediately went to 220. And I was like, damn, I already missed 3 points. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to bet it anymore. And here we are, it's 213. So um I I think the Mavericks defense is really trustworthy. I don't know so much about the Sacramento side. I do think you miss a lot of offense without Malik Monk out there for them. Um, and that just makes me think that Mavs it'll be easier for them to contain the Kings. So I was leaning Mavs, also leaning under, but I can't take under after that 10-point move. I guess it's Mavs or pass for me. How do you feel about it, Vino?
Yeah, I did play this one. I did a wager talk video on this one this morning. I played Dallas +5. We see some spots 4.5 now, Skee, but I see some 5 still available. So um, I think they're the right side. And if you hadn't opened the way you opened, my first question, I was going to open with a question to you is, do you think that the absence of Malik Monk is as significant as I do? And it sounds like you do. And not having
Yes.
Malik Monk is huge. Yes, he's the sixth man. He comes off the bench, but at the end of the game, he's the guy on the floor that gives them just another guy that they can go to, and he's fearless. So without him, it's to me that's problematic for Sacramento. The second thing is I think Dallas probably got the most advantageous matchup they could find. I mean, where were they going to find a better opponent to play when they have all three of their centers back and healthy? And you know what? What's even better about these three centers is they're all athletic enough to go out and play Sabonis. Whether Sabonis wants to stand at the arc and be an assist guy, somebody's going to be there. Whether it's Lively, whether it's Gafford, whether it's AD, they can all do it. They can all control the paint. I think there's a big advantage on the interior here for Dallas. Rim protection wise is great. The question for them, of course, boy, you would have liked to see this team if they did have Kyrie. They would have been a handful if they had Kyrie, but they don't. So that makes their scoring a little bit questionable. And I would say the only other thing I'd have is, can Klay Thompson guard Levine enough? I think with 2 days off and with his playoff experience, just like we saw out of some of the Warriors last night, he'll be able to defend enough because you really worry about DeRozan, Levine, and Sabonis. And that's the rest is what it is for Sacramento. I like the coaching matchup here. Again, I think Jason Kidd against Doug Christie is a good edge for Dallas. And defensive disparity, like you said, you trust one side, you don't trust the other. It's hard to trust Sacramento's defense. And they've actually slowed down their pace, Skee. They're not even a fast team anymore, which I think helps Dallas. In a half court, I really like Dallas. They've got the ability to rack up points. We know it. They can at times. But I just don't know that they'll do it in this setting. And the last thing I like about Dallas is they could have quit on the season. They could have just said, let's go to the lottery. The heck with it. But they played pretty focused with that mindset without the three centers and still won enough games to get here. And a couple of the quotes I read seems like they want to get past this. So whether they win the game or not, so be it. But I do think +5 is probably too much. So I took Dallas +5.
I agree. I'm in agreement with you. Definitely think that's the right side. Think they can win the game. I mean, I could see it being a night where you take Dallas plus 175, you take Heat plus 110, and I think you have one, if not two winners. You have profit at the end of the night. I think a dog wins today, if not two. So good stuff there, Vino. That's it for today. Tomorrow we can maybe talk about future stuff since there's no games tomorrow. And then Friday we'll come back and we'll talk about that Friday game, etc., etc. So I enjoyed doing the show with you again, Vino. It's hard for me to never sleep, but man, I'll sleep when I die.
You're on the move, pal. You're on the move.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that I caught you that morning, it was like 11:30 in the morning. I'm walking through Westgate, and there you are already fired up. So yeah.
Yeah. You'll see me like that pretty much all day, every day. So yeah, I sleep when it's time to sleep. It's not time to sleep right now. We'll move it to best bets. Before we go to best bets, my man, we mentioned it, but goddamn, Vino's been on fire, man. So we're looking at Veno. The last 3 weeks, you can see here 29-7. That's over 80%. He's been hitting in the NBA. So he's already been killing it, picking up a little bit under 37 units. And he has a better deal than I have right now. Regularly 225 for the rest of the year. Is down to 149. So about $76 off if I'm doing my math correctly. And you guys know you've been around here. You've heard Vino for a while, and you see he's hot right now. So great time to hop on board with him over at wagertalk.com. And the link to his page is in the description to this video. Vino, is there anything that I missed? And is there anything else you would like to promote? And do you have a best bet for the show? No pressure if you don't.
Now, I'm always glad to have you as my hype man, Skee. So I'll I'll stop my promotion right here. But yeah, it's been a good run, like I say. And if November didn't happen, where we're involved in so much other stuff, since the beginning of December, it's picked up 60 units in the NBA. So it's been good. Um, let's get to what I bet that I can sort of give out as advice here on the show, which is Dallas plus the 5. It's what I bet. It was the first thing that appealed to me. I do like the matchup. I described it in length. If you need more, you can go over to Wager Talk TV, where they cut a short video of it this morning. But I just feel the way you do on this one, like they can win this game. I don't know that they could have asked for a better matchup. So I'm on Dallas plus 5. I'll leave that as the best bet.
Good stuff there. And had a nice start to my playoffs with that first win. I want to make my decision. I haven't made it yet for today's games. I made decision on future games, but I'll say this: if I'm playing, it's the dogs for me. So Dallas, I like a little bit more than Miami right now, but I could very well just end up betting both money lines. So for the time being, I'll double up with Rob Vino on Dallas. I'll endorse that with him as the best bet for the show. And if you would like another free play, you can check it out on my page. The link to my page is in the description to this video, and it goes off in about 20 minutes. It's a tennis play. So appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like button for us. Definitely does help the show out. Subscribe so you know when we're live, when we're back with Vino. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow talking some future. So we'll catch you guys then.